Welcome to Bobbi Jo's. Chastity here. Today we're making slow cooker bourbon chicken. The cookbook says to use 1 pound of chicken tenderloins, but I just have 2 big chicken breasts I'm sticking down in here. Alright, let's move that over out of the way. Okay, in a small bowl, I'm going to mince some garlic. I want 2 cloves. This is gluten-free soy sauce. You want 1/4 cup of that. A 1/4 cup of bourbon. A 1/4 cup of sugar-free ketchup. A 1/4 cup of brown sugar substitute. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. 1 teaspoon of ginger. And a 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Alright, you just want to mix all this together. I was supposed to put the xanthan gum in after the chicken cooks, so hopefully this still turns out alright. Because I'm just throwing everything in here together. Okay, now we're going to pour all this over. Okay, so we're going to put the lid on, put it on the slow cooker, and it's going to cook on low for 2 to 3 hours, or until the chicken is no longer pink in the center. So we'll be back in a few hours. Okay, I decided I was going to make biscuits to go with this, and I know I've already posted a biscuit recipe when I did the sausage and gravy biscuits, the keto biscuit recipe. I don't think I've ever shown y'all these. It's basically the same recipe, but I'm adding garlic and chives and cheese to it, and it tastes like those Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. So in this bowl, I have 1 1/2 cups of finely ground almond flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to mix all this together, and then I'm going to add in the cheese. And I have about a cup of grated cheddar. And I'm just going to mix all that together like that. That's in one bowl. These are super easy to make. Other bowl, you need a 1/4 cup of sour cream, 2 eggs, and 2 tablespoons of salted butter, melted but not hot. So I've already melted it, it's not hot. I'm going to mix this together, and then I'm going to add in the butter. Let's mix all that together. And you pull this one back over here. You pour this in. Let me get my little spatula so I can get everything out of this bowl. And then you just mix this together, and it'll form a dough. And then you get 2 spoons and you drop it onto a parchment paper lined baking sheet. I don't do a parchment paper lined baking sheet. I do a cast iron skillet. I know that's a shocker. The oven should be preheated on 400 degrees. I've had this in the oven while it's preheating with some avocado oil in it. And then I'm just going to take and just scoop these out like this onto the skillet. I'm going to melt a little bit more butter when it comes out of the oven. I like to brush them down with butter. There's the drop biscuits. Now all I'm going to do is stick them in the oven. They're going to bake for 10 to 12 minutes until they're golden brown on top. And while that's baking, I'm going to go ahead and wash up my dishes and melt a tablespoon of butter. Look at those biscuits. So you just kind of dab the butter on here. You can't really brush it because the almond flour makes them a little softer. But these things are so good. I think they have 1.5 net carbs. I'll tell you in just a second. Okay, so drop biscuits have 1.5 grams of net carbs per biscuit. 142 calories, 12.1 grams of fat, 4.6 grams of protein, and 3.1 grams of carbs, 1.6 grams of fiber if you need all of the nutrient information. The slow cooker bourbon chicken, 144 calories, 2.5 net carbs, 0 grams of fat, 24.3 grams of protein, 3 grams of carbs, and a half a gram of fiber. It makes 4 servings. All right, so I'm going to serve up some biscuits and bourbon chicken, and we'll see what Steve thinks. Okay, look at our chicken. This smells good. I'm going to see if it'll shred, so I'll be right back. It's kind of dark over here in the corner. I'll put it in the light in a few minutes, but I shredded the chicken. It smells really good. I think because I put the xanthan gum in it beforehand, it doesn't really have any juice. I think this would be good on a sandwich, because we do have some keto bread. I was going to do cauli rice, but Steve won't eat the cauliflower. I still need to post those videos. Anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, got it over here in the light where you can see it better. It smells really good. But see, it's not really, it doesn't have a lot of juice. And on the recipe, well, it doesn't really show a lot on the picture either. This is what it looks like over cauli rice. So, I mean, it turned out fine putting the xanthan gum in first. I'm going to serve it with biscuits.
Okay, the biscuits, 2 thumbs up, drool worthy. They are right there with the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. They're really good. The texture is good. The taste is good. They're excellent. They may not look exactly like the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits, but if you had a blindfold on, you wouldn't know the difference. So, top notch for that. The chicken is good. I think it was better when I had it on the bread, the biscuits, but I think it's just not a taste. It'd probably be an acquired taste for me. It's not a preferred flavor, but it's, you know, it's string shredded. It's easy to chew. It's easy to swallow. It's good. It's not something that I would say, ooh, I can't wait, give me more. But it's good.
Okay, so it's just good. It doesn't get the drawer-worthy stamp of approval.
Not from me. It probably would from Bobbi.
I don't think Bobbi can have it.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
There's probably some stuff in there Bobbi can't have.
The Cheddar Bay biscuits, though, are excellent. So, yeah, these are good. I'm very impressed with these. These are probably the best ones you've made.
Thank you.
And they've even got a good smell to them. They smell like
they smell like
biscuits. Smell like the Red Lobster.
Well, there you have it. The bourbon chicken does not get the drawer-worthy stamp of approval from Steve, but the drop biscuits do. I enjoyed the bourbon chicken. I ended up freezing the leftovers since I was the only one that liked it. We have these biscuits about once a month. You cannot tell they're made from almond flour. They're really good. I started keto because of health issues, and I sort of went into it blindly, not realizing certain things that claim to be keto aren't keto. I learned through trial and error what raised my blood sugar and what didn't. Most people I've talked to do net carbs. I cannot do net carbs. I count all carbs. I still end up with high blood sugar after eating certain things with low net carbs, so I try to stay under 35 total carbs a day. Steve, on the other hand, counts net carbs. He has no blood sugar issues and only started this diet to support me, so he could eat things with sugar substitutes, nut flours, and even some keto-friendly items from the store without any blood sugar issues. I cannot. I will go into this in more detail when I review the cookbook. I will go ahead and give you an example. Stevia in the raw. You would think it was a healthy substitute, and it says right on it that it's diabetic friendly, keto friendly. Wrong. It has additives in it that causes my blood sugar to rise. I would have a cup of coffee sweetened with a little stevia in the raw, and my blood sugar would shoot up to 320, and I could not figure it out until my doctor said check the ingredients in stevia in the raw. It isn't pure stevia. They get you with the name stevia in the raw. You think, oh, that's good for me. That's all stevia. Well, it's not. Always check the ingredients. So this chicken and these biscuits is another recipe from the Southern Keto Cookbook. I will leave a link in the video description. I have a lot of recipes left to post from that cookbook that we've already made. Once I get all those posted, I will do a cookbook review and go into more detail about what I've learned along my keto journey with diabetes. I've been making recipes from this cookbook for about 4 months. I try to do one recipe a week. I usually make simple things that aren't in this cookbook, like chicken thighs with steamed broccoli or baked fish with some sort of veggie. I also like a lot of salads. Steve, on the other hand, doesn't care for all the veggies. I think Steve didn't like this chicken because he likes things to be a little sweet and spicy flavored and not as much a savory flavor. So thanks to everyone who participated in my 5 cast iron giveaways these last few weeks. I will do another cast iron giveaway later in the year. I will be doing a few channel merchandise giveaways throughout the year, so stay tuned for those. I've moved all the new bird videos over to the Chattanooga Birds channel. I have all my old bird videos still on this channel, but the new ones are going over to the Chattanooga Birds, so if you're interested in the birds, go check it out. A link is in the video description. I will also be having giveaways on the Chattanooga Birds channel, but it's going to be bird-related items. Thanks so much for stopping by, and y'all have a very blessed week.